So this has been going on for 10, 20, well actually it might be 30 years, I don't even know. Night of Jazz when we bring in a guest soloist. But more on that later on. We'll get to talk to our soloist later on. Mrs. Kirshner, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Allison Kirshner and the Bridle Path Knapp Elementary School Jazz Band.
On the piano and Ethan on the drum set. Next we're going to bring out our guest soloist. Am I taking your job? Okay, because you can talk if you want.
Okay, so while we wait for this moment, while our soloist comes out and gets all set up, let me ask Mr. Kirshner. I just like talking to you. Talk to me about any highlights recently of the band and your schedule and what's happened so far with this band this year.
All right, so no big highlight this year because our big highlight happened last year, and you can only submit your recordings and go once every 4 years. But last year we were selected to perform at the PNEA All-State Festival all the way in Erie, Pennsylvania. So that was a lot of fun. If you were there, you know, thank you. But the band has been doing a great job this year. We're not going to Erie, but we are going to go to Music in the Parks. We already had our spring concert, so that's over. We're here tonight, and then we head to Music in the Parks at night. That's it.
Fantastic. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. folks, what we're going to do is we're going to get to know our soloist. There is a nice big write-up in the program that was out in the lobby, and you're reading it right now, maybe. I didn't read any of it. No, that didn't come across the right way. I didn't read it because I want to get to know the deep, dark secrets. So, talk to me about, are you from this area originally? Where are you from?
Thank you. Originally, I'm from Western Massachusetts, but don't hold that against me. I have been in Philly for a little over 10 years now. I went to Temple University.
Whoa. Yes. Temple. I went to Temple as well. I don't remember seeing you there when I was there, but anyway. So Temple brought you down here?
Yes.
Okay. When you went to, what high school did you go to?
Longmeadow High School in Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Longmeadow, Massachusetts, anyone?
Crickets. So when you're in high school, was there an individual or individuals or something that says, and the reason I ask this is because there's a lot of band parents out there. Is there anyone that gave you the motivation, that influenced you to say, I want to try this music in college?
So it would have been my parents. My dad, he works as a performing musician in addition to his advertising job. So I started performing with him out when I was 12. And my mom is not a performing musician, but she's the one that motivated me to practice even when I didn't feel like it. So I really attribute my decisions to both of my parents.
And what about your experiences at Temple University? Did you go in as a performing arts, a music major, as going to education, or a performance major?
I went in as Temple has a jazz education program, which is like a hybrid of a jazz performance and a music ed degree.
So if you had to make it, you chose the performance path over the...
I did both. After college.
Yeah.
I've actually done a pretty even amount of both. I absolutely love teaching in addition to performing. I just probably couldn't hold down a full-time teaching job.
Yep. We are going to let the next band take over. We're going to bring you back later on to talk about it. All right? Thank you so much. Folks, we're ready. Are you ready? Come on, they need this. There we go. Would you please give a warm welcome to the Gwynedd Square Inglewood Elementary School Jazz Band under the direction of Mrs. Jordan Bakish.
Yeah, Teddy! All right, thank you so much, folks. This next tune, Playing with Fire, is going to feature 3 of our musicians: Adam Morris on alto sax, we have Gabe on trombone, and also Avi on trombone. So if you wouldn't mind giving them a nice round of applause when they're finished playing. Not yet, not yet. Let's see how they do first. All right, this is Playing with Fire.
the Gwynedd Square Inglewood Jazz Band, under the direction of Mr. Jordan Baker. Mrs. Baker, very quickly, very quickly. Talk to us very quickly, any highlights or events that happened with this band this year. Is your season over, is it just beginning?
This is actually our first show for the season. We have a lot of shows this week. This is the first of 4 this week, so we've got tomorrow and then two on Wednesday. And then we're headed to Music in the Parks in May, so that's pretty much the culmination of our season. Morning. Sorry.
Let's talk about Music in the Parks, because Ms. Kirshner just talked about that. Not everyone knows what's the magic behind Music in the Parks.
So we travel up to a regional school this year, and most of the years in the past, it's usually been up in the Allentown area. We compete against some other bands. There's typically not a lot of elementary school bands. We've actually taken a hiatus from going to Music in the Parks because we weren't competing against anybody. This year, we happen to be competing against one of our own in Bridle and Knapp Elementary School. Of course, we wish them the best. But once we compete there, we have adjudicators, some awesome regionally well-known teachers and usually collegiate professors. They give us some feedback, and then we get to just hang out for the day at Dorney and enjoy the successes of our season and just get to hang out as a group together, and that's how we finish our season, so we're excited about it.
I thought we talked about you not wearing high heels anymore when I would do the interviews. How about another round of applause for the band? While Pennbrook is setting up, I'm going to ask Mr. Jernigan to come join me over here so the band can set up. Mr. Jernigan, we're talking tonight with this wonderful audience about the highlights of each the band season. Do you want to talk about the highs, lows, not many lows, but a lot of the highs. Talk to me about your band this year.
Absolutely. So we have a fairly young band this year, lots of 7th graders, which is a great thing, getting lots of kids involved in the band this year. So we definitely were growing a lot this year, and we saw that throughout the year. We started out with the year with maybe an excellent or two, and then we ended up with the season with superiors, some rhythm section awards, a flute section award, some awesome soloist award, and some overall soloists. So really great job throughout the season, like growing as a band and individually as well.
We have some elementary parents out here who aren't familiar with the middle school program. When did you start auditions and how many times do you practice a week?
So typically we just rehearse once a week on Monday nights, and that's pretty much standard across all 3 middle schools. So we try to keep that the same, because a lot of our kids are involved in not only this, but the wind ensemble, which is a combined 3 middle school thing as well, and Sinfonia as well, they're in orchestra as well. So we rehearse one night a week. We start in about October-ish, and then we kind of, get our music, get our wheels starting to grind a little bit, and then we hit the break, and then come January through February is like our season, and then we start our festivals.
Is your season, does it conclude tonight, or you still have more events?
This is pretty much our finale for this season. We still play at one of our spring concerts. We'll play at our 7th grade spring concert on May 12th at Pennbrook Middle School. Give it a chance for those 7th graders that maybe didn't give it a try this year to kind of see what the band is all about. And but yeah, this is a great way to end the season with this night.
What does Mr. Jernigan do in his free time for fun?
Well, band director doesn't have any free time. But no, truly, this is a job of passion, and not only I think many of us not only do we teach outside of this, we teach at nights, but we perform. So I perform a lot on the weekends. But my most favorite thing is spending time with my daughter. She's in gymnastics. I got 3rd overall this weekend in her gymnastics meet. So
You got 3rd, or she got 3rd? Oh, okay.
She gets maybe the looks from me, but she gets the athletics from her mom.
What instrument will she be playing?
So she's looking at some violin, but she likes to sing as well. So
We can talk her out of that. Like trombone. Or tuba. I see a tuba here. I'm gonna let you go. Thanks, boss.
While the band is finishing getting set up, I wanted to thank everyone from North Penn for having me here, being so hospitable. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that I'm the first vocalist that's done this. Yes? Mr. Judy gave me a yes. So all the directors have been wonderful and picked some cool vocal charts. What we're doing with this next song is it's an instrumental chart. And we did a little reorchestrating, and I'm going to share the melody with the saxes a little bit. And I really appreciate all of you for including vocals this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Pennbrook Middle School Jazz Band and director, Mr. Tim Turner.
This little song for my father does things that no other can do. As I'm singing to you, it has a rhythm and a face and it's very as his moon shines through.
School Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Tim Jernigan. While we wait for our next performing band, I'm going to ask our guest soloist to come out and join me. Talk to us about, so you go to, let's review, she went to Temple, we went to Temple together, go Owls. What made you take a chance and do performance? Because that's a tough act to get into.
Yeah, so you can hold it. It feels like a real news show. I've been doing this in some form since I was 12, and my dad encouraged me so much, and I absolutely love teaching, but there's kind of an itch you can't scratch all the time with just teaching. So performing lets me have a different creative outlet, and it also makes me a better teacher when I go to teach.
So how do you make money right now? You know, as an artist, are you teaching? How much do you, are you teaching? That's a fair question. Well, how do you make the money in this business? Like a lot of it, like individual instruction, playing in bands, how are you doing?
So if any of you, are any of you performing musicians out there? Hey, Kevin?
Not a lot.
Okay, so I will inform all of you. As a performing musician, you kind of do have to wear a lot of hats. So many of us teach, do clinics, travel, things like that. I actually, for the past couple of years, have been helping out some pre-K through 8 teachers with their curriculum and integrating, you know, improvisation and different concepts, non-traditional band and stuff like that I'm passionate about as an educator, even though I can't have a teaching job myself.
So if you had your dream, would it be singing more or playing trombone more?
Ask me any day and it'll change.
Okay.
A perfect 50-50 is ideal.
Okay, so they're almost ready, but one more question for you. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
When I was 6, I told my mom that I wanted to be a traveling gardener. So probably that.
Okay. They have TV shows for that now, so you might make it. Thanks so much. We'll bring you back later on. The boss is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Robert Kennedy and the Penndale Jazz Band.
Don't know why I didn't come. Left you by the house for fun. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. When we saw the break of day, wish that I could fly away. Teardrops in my hand, my heart is drenched in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Out across the endless sea, I will die in ecstasy, but I'll be a bag of bones, riding down the road alone. My heart is drenched sweet wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. My heart is wrapped in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Something has to make you run. Don't know why I didn't come. I feel as empty as a drum. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.
I have a quick request for this next tune. This next tune is going to feature our trombone section, which has been just killing it all year. They've been doing so well that I gave them a feature. They do a solo, then they do this thing where every kid down the line does a solo. But they're short solos. So what I'm going to ask is that you don't applaud until all the solos and soli section is finished, and then give them a big round of applause. So that way every kid can kind of finish their solo and not have the claps kind of cover everything. So I appreciate that. Here is Slideshow.
Kennedy. I'm going to grab Mr. Kennedy here for a moment. Let's talk a couple things. Let's go over here, Raven. Have some room. Mr. Kennedy and I, we have a long history together. We have been best friends since we were both in, was it 6th or 7th?
Sixth grade.
We were in 6th grade band together.
Yes.
You left 6th grade band, and did I leave or you leave? I think I left.
I left sixth grade to go to seventh grade. You left sixth grade band to go to the high school to direct high school marching band.
Oh, that's right. So after that, you had the joy of me at the high school for 3 more years.
Yeah, the joy, yes.
You go to Temple, he goes to Temple University, another Temple, and then you get a job here. How many years have you been here?
This is year 25.
Very nice. And now the added joy, what happened during 11 of those magical years?
I got to work with you.
This poor guy has been, he can't shake me. It's like walking around with like a fungus on you or something like that. I can't get rid of this guy. So I finally retired and now you're on your own. You're a veteran of this department. Talk to us about the history of the Night of Jazz. How long, do you even know how long it's been going on?
Well, I think it's been going on for over my tenure here. I know it was a thing at least 5 to 10 years before I even started here. So I know it's been going on almost 30 years, 30 plus years.
Can you name all 30 of them?
Well,
Can you name any?
I wasn't here for the first 5, so that doesn't count, right? But I can definitely name a lot of them. We used to have a, maybe we could get it to North Penn Television so we can run a list at the end of the former guest artists. There were some great ones. Ron Ferber sticks out in my mind. Matt Gallagher, the string and trumpet player, that year really sticks out in my mind. Some really fabulous guest artists have played with our groups because of this event. I'd also like to say thank you to the Ed Foundation, North Penn Educational Foundation. They're the ones who write a grant so that we can have such an awesome guest artist work with our students. So round of applause for them and what they did for us.
So, like moving ahead, usually the event takes place here?
Yes, the event for the last 5 to 10 years has been here. We used to do it on a rotation, but we found that this event is too popular to put in Field or Brook because their auditoriums are just a little bit smaller. So that's why it's always at this building.
I know, I saw up on stage your youngest son, your oldest daughter is now at Temple University performance. Your other daughter is in the high school jazz band, correct?
Yeah, she's a senior in the high school jazz band.
So I asked this question, and it was totally unfair, I think last year, the year before, and I apologized. I said, which is your favorite child? Totally not appropriate. Do you have a least favorite child?
Absolutely not.
Mom, did I see Mom and Dad here? Mom and Dad here? Where are they? Where are they? Hey, it's good to see you. Good. Thanks for coming out. Anything else we need to know about your son? He'll be home later on. Is he still living at home? Hey, thanks so much. All right.
This first tune we're going to do with Mr. Blanky's band, it's another one of those instrumental arrangements that features the sax section originally on melody to this Cole Porter tune, but Mr. Blanky and I came up with a sort of creative way to integrate vocals into it. So saxophones, I ask you now, are you okay with me becoming an honorary saxophone for the next 2.5 to 3 minutes? All right, I think we got it.
That was our first song. The second song we're going to be playing. All right, ladies ladies and gentlemen. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Blanky and the Pennfield Middle School Jazz Band. That's the Pennfield Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Scott Blanky. Let's take a moment very quickly here, Mr. Blanky. Let's talk about the band season so far. Is tonight the end, or is it just the beginning?
Tonight is unfortunately the end for us, besides one more at our 7th grade band concert.
And talk to us about what has happened during your season.
So we had a really good season this year. As you could hear on that first song, we have a really phenomenal sax section up here, as well as our flutes and vibes. They're all really great players. The whole band is really great too, but our saxophone section was fortunate enough to win 4 Best Saxophone Section awards this year. They're doing a really excellent job winning this up. We've had a lot of soloist awards. Alex Nash on vibes received 3 soloist awards this year. As well as Olivia Lee got a solo award, Selma Burnham got a solo award. Did I miss anyone? No. So it's a really special band to work with this year. They've done a lot of great work.
So this is your 2nd year here.
Yeah.
So last year, obviously your first year, it went so well, you decided to come back. That's fantastic. You know what's nice? Your brother's here supporting you tonight. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice of him to come out and support you? Very nice. Now, I was talking to him earlier, and he says his mom, your mom's, he said he's the favorite of your mom. Is that true?
I'm not sure that's very true. There's another Blanky who's not here right now who I think might be the favorite. So.
And what instrument do you play?
I play the trombone and the violin are my 2 instruments.
What is it with trombone tonight? You can't get rid of these trombone players. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the Penfield Jazz Band. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new director alert here. Coming in this year to work with the Columbia Jazz Band is Charlie DeCarney. I don't know you. What brings you to North Penn?
the atmosphere, the high excellence that the music department brings in year after year, and the opportunity arose, and I grabbed it right away. It was a great opportunity. Shout out to Mr. Santinello. He has done great work with these kids and all the kids. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Now, are you like a banker or something, or are you a music teacher?
I was a teacher for 17 years, and now I'm over at Peak Group Travel, which is a traveling company for music departments or cheer departments or dance teams that want to travel, whether it's in the US or overseas.
Talk to us about what's happened with the band this year.
Man, it's been a lot of fun. I was nervous coming in because I didn't know any of them, but they welcomed me with open arms, and we rehearse once a week, every Wednesday, and it's just been a joy to work with these kids and just watch them grow from week to week.
Is this your final performance night, or do you have more to go?
Unfortunately, it's our final performance, so I'm going to miss these guys dearly, but we'll be back next year.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and good luck. We'll be with you in a second. All right, folks, please welcome Mr. Charlie DeCarney and the Columbia Jazz Band from North Penn High School.
It's my second favorite thing.
All right, Hailey, we're running out of time. We have one more band. We have one more band to go. Let's pretend your traveling gardener thing doesn't go off, doesn't take off. Let's just pretend.
Which is ridiculous.
What happens where are you in 5 to 10 years? What are you doing?
I feel like this is an interview, like for a job.
Well, in a way, we have ideas.
Honestly, if I could just be doing what I'm doing now, but more of it and traveling more. I love performing. I have a quintet. We're about to record our 3rd album, so if I could be touring with my own group more, that would be great. And I love doing these like high school clinics and working with groups and I miss adjunct teaching. I was adjunct at University of the Arts. Rest in peace. I might be at Temple in the fall.
Okay. Do you do private lessons? Like, let's say there's someone out there, do you give vocal lessons, trombone? What type? Let's promote yourself here.
I do. If anyone's interested, I do voice lessons, trombone lessons. Of course, if anyone's a jazz-oriented player, I really love teaching students, especially students who don't have that much experience in jazz are my absolute favorite to teach.
And what location do you give your lessons? Do you travel to them, or do they travel to you?
I teach in Montgomery County and Glenside.
Okay, all right. Finally, your last question, and then you're off the hook. Why is tonight so important to you?
Tonight is incredibly important to me because I grew up in, a school district like this, but they're blowing my old school district out of the water. I'm so impressed with all these bands. But events like this are why I'm here today and why I'm a professional musician. So it feels really great to play with so many amazing young musicians.
Hailey, thank you so much for coming out and sharing your talents with us tonight.
My pleasure.
Coming up next, we have the Navy Jazz Band.
So I was only going to do one song with each band, but I saw that this band had programmed one of my favorite big band tunes that I haven't played since college, Symphony and Riffs. So I learned most of the sax part vocally, and the saxes told me that I'm allowed to join them, so I'm going to give that a shot on Symphony and Riffs.
Hey folks, unfortunately Mr. DiValentino could not be here this evening, but we got his older brother to take charge here. So, please welcome our last band performing for you this evening from North Penn High School under the direction of Mr. Dave DiValentino, and tonight Mr. Robert Kennedy, the Navy Jazz Band.
This band was gracious enough on pretty short notice to learn one of my big band arrangements. This is an original tune I wrote, which it's disconcerting because the title is called I Might Be Evil, which I don't want to read too much into myself about. But this is a really fun chart, and I'm going to do some trading with a future Temple Owl, Sean, on the trombone. You gotta eat or become a meal. Because everybody works harder, walks faster, speaks louder, and never thinks to lie or steal. When there's only room to grumble and never go out, how was I supposed to feel like I'd ever muster up? Never fill up my cup. Learn to ask just if I could, without thinking if I should. Oh, I'm starting to think I might be able, 'cause I'm certainly no good. For a while I didn't stay, until one day he asked, if I told you that I loved you, what would you have to say? Well, I looked him in the eyes, smiled sweetly, whispered to him, and said to him on his way, because I only find alone. It's the only way I've ever known. Left him standing where he stood. Wouldn't love him if I could. Oh, I'm starting to think I might be good, 'cause I certainly know. From my golden throne I've sung. God the hand of those winners, faster, harder than the losers. A sinner's hammer I've swung. But evil or not, was it better? Now that my bell's been rung and I'm spending all my day, I'm old and far away. The injustice understood, I didn't even think I would.
Hailey Brinnel.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Folks, thank you first of all for coming out. Don't forget they're going to repost this whole evening on North Penn TV's YouTube, so check it out Wednesday night. Thank you again to our guest soloists for joining us as well, and thank you for supporting North Penn School District Music Department. They have one more song on your way out. Drive carefully. Thank you. Good night.